So what's going on, y'all? It's your boy GT for TruVuw. I got a special guest in the building. None other than my man, Jay Feezy, Justin Johnson Sr.
What's going on, man? What's going on? Glad to make the show. Finally, man, we put it together.
Hey, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all the hospitality and letting us do it at your crib. You know, it's a nice spot, man.
No problem.
Nice
Thank
spot.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I know you are I'm just gonna say right off the top, I appreciate what you do for me and my family, my fans.
Okay.
You are a blessing to me. You inspire me to continue doing this.
Okay.
Because of your actions
Cool.
and what you do, and the things that you say to me all the time. I take it, I dissect it, and I use it in my own life.
Okay.
You know, tell us something about you as an entrepreneur. For all y'all that don't know, he's an entrepreneur. He started from the bottom, now he's here. What Drake said?
Yeah, man. So I want to jump right into it, man. Let me build up to becoming an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And my preparation on becoming an entrepreneur started in my childhood.
Okay.
And I come from a family of 7.
Okay.
It was 3 boys, 4 girls that my mother had, and we took care of each other coming up, man. You know, so I learned the first thing about entrepreneurship, which is caring for others.
Right.
A lot of people don't believe or don't understand how much being an entrepreneur is about caring for the ones that work with you. I hate to say employed,
Right.
because I don't employ anyone.
Correct.
What I do is I offer opportunity for us to work together.
That sounds great,
Yeah,
bro.
so that was my first lesson that I learned from my childhood. Second thing I learned was just responsibility.
Right.
You know, just responsibility, learning how to take care of my responsibility early. Entrepreneurship, I first started off, let's put it like this. I was terminated. I was let go from my job. I was working at a credit union.
Gotcha.
And they saw fit to let me go. And it's kind of long story short too. Yeah. So long story short, they saw fit to let me go. At that point in time, I literally had gained enough knowledge at the credit union. It was really a blessing in disguise. They had started this class called the Target class. And in Target class, they gave us this book. And the book was, they gave us 2 books. And the first book I remember was Who Moved My Cheese?
Oh, wow.
And the book Who Moved My Cheese, there was a bunch of us sitting in the class, and we all had the exact same book.
Right.
And in this Target class, they were trying to change the culture of the credit union.
Okay.
And within doing so, you know, it's a bunch of people that kind of like fight the change.
Right.
So Who Moved My Cheese was supposed to be a book to kind of help us get over the changes that were going to occur within the credit union.
Correct.
Well, as a young man, my father taught me early on, never hear anything, watch anything without taking something from it that would be beneficial to you in life.
Correct.
So the Who Moved My Cheese book was about 3 characters. I believe 2 of them was a rat, and 1 of them was kind of like a human character.
Gotcha.
And they ran around in this maze like we do around the world.
Right.
And they were looking for cheese. They first started at a point where they had like a heap full of cheese. And the cheese was symbolic or represented whatever it was in life that you care for the most.
Gotcha.
And it's just like, man, everything is going good. The heap of cheese is like, man, I got a lot of money. My family is good. My car is good. Everything is going good. And you got a heap of cheese. So at this point, you have 3 options to become proactive, reactive, or non-active. But at the same time, as the story went on, long story short, you first might first mouse, he took off into the corridors looking for new cheese, even though he had a heap of cheese. That was the proactive.
Right.
Then you had the reactive. After a while, they kept eating cheese, and the one character, he noticed that the cheese was slowly leaving. So he started like, yo, what's going on? Like, hey, I'm starting to get uncomfortable here, right? Like most of us do, tend to do. So he said that we should probably go see where the first guy went, and whatever. The non-active character said, no, he was trying to convince him, like, no, we should just stay here because whoever brought the cheese the first time gonna bring some more cheese, right? Which we all think. You know, we think that, hey, after a while, things are gonna get better.
Right.
Okay. So as the story went on, that cheese ended up it vanished. Gotcha. They thought it vanished, but they didn't see that day to day that they were depleting the cheese.
Depleting the cheese.
Right? So we do this in relationship, we do it in friendship, we do it in life, in every aspect. We think that it starts off and the flame is really, really high, and it starts to burn out, and we don't notice that we need to rekindle whatever it is, whether it's on a job, whether it's at a house, whether it's in our business.
Right.
So as they were teaching this story, I was just sitting in the class and I had never heard a lot of these concepts brought across like this. So, long story short, they moved my cheese, right? So they fired me.
Right.
Fired me. We had another book that was presented called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
You know what? I've had that book in my possession.
Yeah.
And I personally, I read that book, and it made so much sense. I mean, really, lots of things in that book was so like normalized. It was just stuff that you wouldn't even think about when you're going through your day-to-day actions, and I found it fascinating. But the bad thing is, for me, I didn't continue with the discipline. My discipline wasn't there when I was reading that book. So I started trying to emulate what was happening in the book. And I just like kind of fell off the side because it was just me doing it. I didn't have that discipline at the time, that mindset to continue to do what the book was telling me to do.
Stay with it. And what I got from that book was basically that being wealthy, being well off, being rich, or just having something wasn't what you physically had in your pocket.
Right.
It was what you mentally carried around with you every day. Right. Your perspective on life. So that's the difference between a rich dad and a poor dad. It wasn't really what that gentleman or those guys had in their pocket, is what they had in their mind, and how they thought. And how they thought made them act different, and whatever way they act made them have different results.
Correct.
Right? So what I did was I had taken all of that and incorporated with a couple more networking classes that we had taken at the bank.
Okay.
And I just used it. And alongside of some of the tools that I gathered when I was growing up, and I came home after being fired, shortly after I'd been fired, and I said, hey, I'm not going back to work.
Right.
And, you know, my girlfriend, well, she's my wife now. My girlfriend at the time, but my wife now, Tamika, she was just like, you're not going back to work, what do you mean? I said, well, I think I'm going to work for myself at this point. My dad was an entrepreneur, or still is an entrepreneur, and I just seen the opportunity for me to take it.
So do you think that it's more so that you picked up some things from your father that also helped you to pursue this entrepreneurship?
I do think that genetically it isn't being an entrepreneur, but I think genetically I was given a trait to take risks.
Gotcha.
You know, so I believe my father's a risk taker, and I believe that I genetically got that because I always took risks. I always been kind of like living on the edge.
Right.
So just seeing an opportunity and taking a risk, right? And that's what I did. So I ended up taking. They fought my unemployment originally, which disciplined about saving money.
Right.
I didn't have to utilize too much discipline because they were usually helping me with it.
Right.
So when the money came, I had reached out to a few of the guys that had come to the bank that I thought, man, they were coming in. They were coming in on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, dressed in regular clothing, and they were smiling and carrying on about their life. And the biggest thing is they were coming in with these checks.
Right, that's the main thing.
And I
right?
was
That's
like,
the main thing.
What are you all doing? Like, where y'all getting this money from? You know?
They pockets are fat, you know.
So I was like, man. So I ended up running into this man by the name of Michael Hicks. He owned a commercial cleaning company, and he gave me my first job or training outside of the bank.
Gotcha.
So when I got on the job with him, he started me off with pennies, just like in that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Right.
And but I thought it was pennies, but everyone that kind of worked there thought it was just regular. And but I thought it was pennies because I seen the checks.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Had I not seen the checks, I probably would have thought it was regular.
And that's very important you say that, because a lot of people would have went into it just blind and said, okay, this is good, all right.
Yeah.
But the fact that you saw the end result, the checks coming to the bank,
Exactly.
that pretty much set in stone in your mind, like, hey, this ain't what that check was reading.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So in a nutshell, you was already set up, your mindset was already set from the beginning, you know?
So I went in, I worked for maybe about 3 or 4 months, and I came to Mike and I said, hey Mike, is it possible for you to show me how to start my own company?
Right.
He said, yeah, of course. He showed me how to, he gave me directions on how to go downtown, register a business, how to get an EIN, and I came back to him that same afternoon when I had all my paperwork, and he was just like, wow. He said, man,
There's
been a lot of people that asked me to help them start a business. I gave them the exact same steps and they hadn't come back yet. He said, some people have been working for me over 15 years, man. And I gave them that information 15 years ago, and they have yet to come with the paperwork that you came with today. And I said, you know, reading that book taught me about being proactive. You know, just getting at it, right? So when my cheese was gone, you know, I was uncomfortable at that point. So at the point of being uncomfortable and change, I mean, you have to kind of like, you're at the fork in the road. You have to make a decision. A lot of us make a decision that's put us back in that comfort zone. Right?
You said it, you hit it in the head. You beat me to it. So I was definitely going to say
put
that.
us back in that comfort zone. And I just chose not to be back in that comfort zone. And head towards the checks that I was seeing.
That's right.
Right? So I did that, man. And long story short, a couple months down the line, I end up sitting at my son's school. I pride myself on being a father, right? So I was sitting at my son's school, man, and I had started a basketball team at his school. And it was just an interleague basketball team.
Gotcha.
Just classroom within classroom.
Right.
They didn't have any basketball team at all. Bought a couple jerseys, some cheap jerseys, man, and no numbers, no names, anything like that. Just some different colors, and we put them on and we played. And I was sitting in the class one day, man, and I was just like, man, I gotta hurry up and figure out how to get some money because I started my own company, but I didn't find out how to bring the money in yet. So I was running around saying that I'm a business owner, but I wasn't making any money.
You wasn't making the
Just
money.
like most of business owners is out there, they get the business and they fail to realize how to bring in the revenue for the business.
That is very important you say that, man, because with anything, like even with podcasting, if you don't put forth the effort, it's not going to come to you. Nobody's just going to hand it to you, say, hey, here you go, man, you're doing a good job, you just started, we're just going to give that to you right there. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to go, well, you're on your own. That's what you chose. And like you said, the comfort zone. The comfort zone. A lot of us, especially in the Black community, we get caught up in, you owe this to me. Hey, give me this. Or, hey, I need a handout too. And they get comfortable with getting that handout.
Exactly.
And instead of them saying, no, I don't want the handout. I will take it if I need it, but let me do this on my own. Let me try to make this work. You know?
Oh yeah. Like I call it rocking to sleep, man. People will rock you to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like a baby.
Hey, can I use that?
Yeah.
Y'all hear that, man?
Yeah. You get rocked to sleep. Don't get rocked to sleep, man. Don't Y'all get rocked to sleep.
Rock
man.
to sleep.
I mean, they'll pick you up, man, get you all comfortable, balled up like a bottle of joy, man.
Yeah.
You just go to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's the most dangerous position there is, right?
Yeah.
So, what I did was, I actually sat in my son's class, man, and I prayed, and I said, man, I never asked God for any favors, right? Because
Right.
I had to see I haven't seen him do any favors for anybody.
Right.
Right, because it says in the book, it says faith without work is dead.
Yeah.
So that let me know he didn't do any favors. He'll give
Right.
you favors,
Right.
but he won't do you any
Yeah,
favors.
you
right?
do your thing. Right.
So he'll make sure that the doors are open along your journey.
Right.
But
That's
he won't carry you through.
correct.
Right.
Correct.
So I said, okay.
And I believe that too.
I believe
I strongly believe that.
yeah. So, long story short, man, I ended up landing my first contract, stripping and waxing the floors at my son's school.
Yeah.
It was a $10,000 job, but that's where the discipline had to come in,
Right.
and the idea of reinvesting
Yes.
in my initial investment.
Mhm.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand is that some people understand investment. So they'll get it started, they'll put money in to get it started, but then when they see a return, they instantly want to go spend the return. So no, you can't spend the return.
Right.
You have to reinvest in your
Right.
initial investment, and you have to build, right? So that's what we did. So I took that money, man, and paid everybody off, and I paid off all my debts, and then I bought some equipment.
Yeah.
And with the equipment, I was able to get better jobs. And long story short, I always had a passion for cutting hair. So down the line, a year later, I ended up opening up my first barbershop because I felt as a young man, I didn't have an opportunity first to be around a lot of men. Right? And as I got older and I started working at the bank, I was a barbershop named Primetime Barbershop located in Ferguson, Illinois, that I used to go to all the time on my lunch break and keep my hair cut, right? Chris used to be at the bank. And man, I used to see how the network and the love and all the jewels that was passed around the barbershop, and I fell in love with that atmosphere. And I said, man, one day I want to have that atmosphere conveniently for myself, right? And I seen the therapeutic type of discussions that were being held and everything, and it was great. So that's what I did. I started a barbershop. Actually, I ended up working at this guy named Samuel Arnold. He had a barbershop, and it was called Cutting Edge, and it was in Alton, Illinois.
Okay.
And from there, he wanted to franchise, so he came with an idea. We partnered up, and we did a franchise. Franchise didn't work, long story short. I ended up on my own. He ended up moving to Texas on his own. Both families are well. It was a big deal, right? Sometimes you have to understand everybody. You can be a good worker. I can be a good worker. We probably don't work well together.
Gotcha.
Right? So, and that's that. So from the barbershop, I end up. This is what I'm talking about. Reinvesting and having
Pretty much reinvesting in yourself.
Reinvesting.
You're putting effort, resources, funds into your vision, your dream.
Yep.
And by doing so, you're manifesting reality.
Exactly. I'm glad you used that word. So the next thing that I invested in was, the cleaning company over the years had turned into a building management company.
Gotcha.
So we started managing properties for companies such as SSM Healthcare.
Gotcha.
And
Huge.
Yeah. Target. Not Target. I'm sorry. Babies R Us, Toys R Us, Burlington's Coat Factory. So we would do everything from. I became a kind of like a third-party vendor. So what I would do is I would subcontract. I became a contractor.
Gotcha.
So I didn't know how to do a lot of the stuff, but I knew how to get the contracts.
Gotcha.
So what I do, I was a middleman after reading about how Uber had did a lot of their business, and just becoming the middleman, and Amazon had did a lot of their business as far as like the middleman has to just be the love connector, right?
That's right.
So basically, you need the work, he does the work, and I bring you all together.
That's it.
Right? And then I take my portion, everybody takes their portion, you get the job done, and everybody's happy at the end of the day.
Kind of like a global project manager.
Exactly. That's what we did. That's what we did. And
Hope y'all learning something, man.
Yeah.
Hope y'all
Yeah. You have to reinvest, man. The initial investment is great. You know, the first step is great, man.
Right.
The first step is better than no step, right?
That's right.
But you don't want to settle. You want to keep making steps. You want to keep reinventing yourself, because just like anything else, man, you can be in a relationship, you can be in a friendship, or you can just be at work, man. I mean, that first couple weeks, first couple months, first couple years, that sometimes can be the best time of your life. And you'll reach that peak, or it's kind of like, I don't think I like this.
Right, like a plateau.
Like yeah, and it's just like, what have you done to make the positive? What have you done to make an investment? What have you done to drive this thing to the next level? Right?
I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
When you said that, that brought back something that Deion Sanders said a couple of weeks ago. He was giving a speech to his players.
Yeah. Okay.
And he said, what have you done? What deposit have you done throughout this week that you can deposit and go to the ATM on Saturday and get?
And take it out.
That's what he said. That's what. Shout out Deion.
Hey, shout out
yes,
to
sir.
Deion,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Hey, 21. I would high step. Hey, you already know, man. Your best days was in Dallas, man. Don't let the 49ers fool you. Don't let the 49ers fool you, man. Your best days was in Dallas, man.
I forgot to tell you, he's an avid Cowboys fan.
Hey, Cowboy Nation, man. Storms up.
Hey, I got something for that later on in the show, man.
Okay,
but yeah,
yes, sir.
but yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. You can't just assume that once you start and you hit this plateau that you need to make a change. Either you make a change for better. Everything still revolves around you putting in work for yourself.
Exactly.
To make yourself better. So if that means this deal that you got on the table is not working, or this person that's included in the deal is not working, you got to find a way to get over that, get around that.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't allow that to stop you from bringing in your money or getting better or evolving to what you need to be at or where you need to be at.
I call it surviving adversity.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of people think once they get that feeling, it's time to give up. It's like, oh man, I'm done. I'm just tired of this. It's time for me to go. No, what it is, it's time for you a lot of times to branch out. You know, you don't need to cut the tree down.
Right.
You don't need to cut the tree down.
Right.
You just need to branch out.
Right.
That's it. So branch out and do some other things that you might like. Create another stream of income, or within the same company sometimes. You know, because originally, man, I got tired of the cleaning contracts. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I got tired of the cleaning contracts. Yeah. Because I had to go to a lot of them.
Right.
I got tired of managing individuals, man, because it was just a lot of work.
Right.
It was a lot of work to manage individuals. So what I thought about, man, after reading the mission statement and the purpose of like Uber and things like that, and Amazon, I was just like, man, that's right up my alley right there, man. You know, just connecting the dots.
That's right.
You know, I'm just gonna connect the dots and walk away with my pot.
That's
you
it.
know, basically,
that's it.
So that's what I started to do, man. I started to research, right, and which led me to branch out another direction when it came to the pandemic. Another.
How did that affect? And I was gonna get to that, but how did that affect you as far as your mission? Was it just a minor obstacle that you found a way to get around, or was it something like, God, I gotta reinvent the wheel now because this is?
Really, what I found during the pandemic, man, I found that it brought whatever was inside of you, it brought it out of you. It forced it out of you, man. Because if you were a driven person, a hustler, a go-getter, you know, whatever you said, get up and go, moving and shaking, whatever you thought you were, you got put to the test. And some people found out that they were lazy. Some people found out that they were the type that gave up. You know, some people found out that without whatever was put in their hand, they didn't know how to shut down one stream of income. During the pandemic, contracts kind of slowed up a little bit because nobody was really at work during the time. Thank God for the medical contracts that we did have, because that kind of beefed up a little bit.
Right.
And with some of those contracts that we were able to kind of have at the time of the pandemic, I took that money and I was riding across the bridge, man, actually going to one of my contracts so I can do a walkthrough.
Right.
And we had just finished an electrical job, a Hall's Ferry, and I was riding over the Chain of Rock Bridge and seen a sign, and it said, if you bought it, they brought it. Thank a trucker. I said, what? I said, you sure right. I said, man, now that's some job security. So everything that you have, somebody had to bring it to you.
Somebody had to bring it.
And I said, that's the business that I need. So I had started a trucking company, and we started moving freight for U.S. Postal Services and / Amazon.
Gotcha.
And like I said, man, that was a lucrative business, and at one point it was lucrative, and it helped me over the hump.
Right.
Yep, it helped me over the hump. Yep. So
that is awesome, bro. I mean, in general, bro, just think about it. Think about where you started at.
Yeah.
And think about that journey, that process to get to where you are now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
A lot of people couldn't have done that. A
Yeah.
lot of people couldn't have done that with no discipline and no mindset of, their mindset was the final results. Their mindset was, okay, what do I get from this? All right. But putting in the work. And, it makes me think about a lot of things that, I know you.
Okay.
We've been knowing each other for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And I see how that has trickled over into your family, your people that are indirectly around you, people at the shop. Because, of course, I come to his shop to get my haircut.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
I come down there, like I told you before, I come down there to lots of times just for the conversation.
Yes, sir.
To learn something that I didn't know previous to coming in the building.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, you never know who you will run into coming in there.
Exactly. I mean, like, I'll just be honest with you, man. If you send your kid to a barbershop, I gotta talk to the people out there on TV.
There you go, bro.
If you send your kid to a barbershop, man, you want to make sure that he isn't just getting a haircut when he leaves.
Correct.
You want to make sure that the barber has some type of positive message, some type of positive environment, and some type of productive individuals coming through that door at all
Correct.
times. You know, because the barbershop, man, in our culture has really lost its purpose.
Correct.
I mean, it lost its purpose, man.
I agree.
It has lost its purpose. I mean, I stopped. I used to go into different barbershops, man, just to kind of see what they had going on.
Right.
But when I started going into the barbershops, man, and there's no knock on the rap music, man. If you like it, you like it.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
You know, barbershops become like mumble rap. Mumble music. I mean, it become like mumble music, man. Yeah, nobody's getting anything that's gonna benefit them at all out of it, right?
Okay.
So what we do at the barbershop, man, is I try to create an environment, man. When you come into the barbershop, Fish will tell you,
Yes,
man,
sir.
you know,
Yes, sir. All the
you
time.
hear some of that old school,
Like
barbecue,
OJ,
fish
Spinners.
fry music, mixed with a little bit of, what the youngsters might want to hear from time to time, right? But we gonna give them something different, man. We gonna give them something a little bit different. We want them to hear some grown men talk.
That's right.
Like grown men.
That's right.
And responding like grown men.
That's right.
Right? So, some of the conversations that we have in the barbershop, man, some of them are silly, some of them are funny, but a lot of them, man, are healing.
Yes.
For me,
Yes.
because a lot of times, man, to hear another man has gone through what you're going through,
Right.
and they come out of it.
Mm-hmm. That speaks volumes, bro. To me, that
That's
speaks
a life
volumes.
saving. That's a
It
life
is, for
saving.
real.
It's a life saving.
I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. It helps my psyche. It helps my psyche because,
Exactly.
there's times where I'll have a bad day during the week, and then one thing I can look forward to. I know on either Friday morning,
Right.
or Saturday morning, I'm in your barbershop.
Yes, sir.
And I'm in your barbershop, I'm listening because
sir.
I know there's somebody in there
Yes, sir.
that's going through something I'm going through, or they'll teach me something that I need
Right.
to be useful. You know what I'm saying? And I like I said, man, shout out to you, bro, for real. And I know I'm not, being biased or nothing. I'm
Right.
just saying from man to man.
Right.
Shout out to you.
Right.
Hey,
Hey.
what's going down, peoples?
My bad, man. Sorry to
It's all
interrupt you
good.
all, man. But,
It's all good.
I
This
wanted
is
to
what
get
we do.
some of this live footage, man. My first interview. All
TruVuw,
right,
baby.
Yeah, TruVuw, man.
Yes,
TruVuw's
sir.
in the building.
Yes, sir.
All right.
GT
Yes, sir.
for TruVuw.
Yes, sir.
Interviewing the great.
Oh, the great. Oh, come on, man.
I was
Don't
just
do it
playing.
to me.
I was just playing,
I'll
man.
take that, man.
I
I'll
was
take
just
that.
playing,
But you
man.
already know it's going to be some people put their personal opinion
Yeah,
on
man.
it.
Somebody's gonna be like, "Great? What do you mean,
Did he
great?"
signal that before? Yeah. Hey, that's his personal opinion, man, and I appreciate it.
Bruh, it's nothing but love from me to you, bruh. You've done great things for this community.
Yes, sir.
You've done great things for your family and people that are indirectly and directly around you.
Thank you.
So, hey, whoever it is that's got doubts or whatever on doing different things, hey, I guarantee you this one thing. Guarantee you get around people that are like-minded in your dreams or whatever it is you're trying to do, I guarantee you'll have a different mindset. Guarantee.
So like I was saying, man, with starting all the businesses and things like that and everything that I got into, man, my passion and I get the most pleasure from the barbershop.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
like I said, having men like yourself come in and I'm just from all different type of walks of life, right?
Right.
So one of the biggest things that we have is we create a network for a lot of the students at
Yes, sir.
SIUE that have come through there. Man, I built some really great relationships.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see a lot of people from SIUE coming
Oh
through.
yeah, man. It's like a lot of times, man, it's kind of like what Kanye said. A lot of them are in school and kind of just going through the motion.
Right.
A lot of them go to school, man, get the degree, kind of like they people pleasing or whatever.
Right.
And then some of them are going to get a degree and they know exactly what they want to do, and they fail to network with the right individuals while they were there.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So what we do, man, at the barbershop, man, is I scout these guys over the years. So I see them come in as freshmen.
Yeah.
I see them come in as sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and then right before the graduation, I always ask some of the ones that I kind of see,
Yeah.
with the potential. I always ask them like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, who do you know? And and a lot of them have told me like I've been able to hook two guys. One of them is a prosecuting attorney right now. One of them is my boy Ace, man.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Ace came in. He's down in Texas right now. Big shout out to Ace, man.
Shout out, Ace.
Yeah, shout out to Ace, man. He's down in Texas, man. This individual, this guy came into the barbershop, man, as a young man.
Gotcha.
He's an alpha.
Okay.
He's an alpha also.
Right.
So he has a great network of individuals, man. But he came into the barbershop one day and he was right before graduation. He was saying to me, he was like, Justin, man, I did all these graduations, man. I look up to you. You're an entrepreneur, man. How do you do it? Like, it's very scary right now.
Right.
Trying to figure out what it is that I'm going to do after college.
Right.
And I asked him, I said, Ace, man, I got another guy that comes in. His name is Justin. And I said, Justin,
Shout out to Justin
Shout out to
Senior.
Jay, man. Justin Senior, man, doing your thing with
Justin
that boy out there.
That's right.
Yeah. So Justin, I said, man, I know a guy named Justin, man. He has a job working, he has a federal job,
Yeah.
and he does cybersecurity.
Gotcha.
And Ace was doing some computer type stuff. Also, I forgot exactly what he was doing.
Right.
And Ace was like,
He's
man,
like an IT major,
yeah, he was
though.
like IT major.
Gotcha.
And he was like, man, I want to get into cybersecurity, man.
Yeah.
It seems like that's where everything is kind of shifting to.
Right.
So I kind of linked them two up, man. And him and Justin had 1 or 2 conversations, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ace put in a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of time
Yeah.
and effort, and then he initiated, the contact between him and Justin after I linked them up together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he followed up. He
Right.
did everything that he was supposed to do. He followed up, man. And to this day, Ace is. I just seen him on. Martell has a podcast also.
Shout out to Martell, man.
Shout out to Big Martell, man. He has a podcast right now.
I think it's on finance, right?
Yeah, it's on finances and business.
Right.
It's called Corporate-ish.
Got you. Yes, I
Corporate.
remember.
Yeah, so he talks to a lot of black entrepreneurs, man, that have crossed that barrier of 6 figures, man.
Yeah.
Young black entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
man, that have crossed that barrier, man, and they give a lot of information on how they did it and what was the experience like and things like that.
Right.
So I hooked them up with Justin, man, and I just found out on Martell's show that Ace is now in Dallas, Texas, man. He's doing this thing. He created different streams of income. He's actually a professor at a college right now. You know what I'm saying? He's still doing his thing with the IT thing.
Yes, sir.
Big shout out, man.
Yes, sir.
And I
Man,
can't help
nothing
but
but
to
love,
believe
man.
that a lot of that came from
The
connection.
Yeah, right.
Connection.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
I said,
sir.
I don't take nothing away from him, man. He did a lot of studying at
Yes,
night.
sir.
I used to see him, and he was real dedicated. You know, he was one of those type of guys, right?
Yeah.
And then we also had some brothers come through the shop, man, who had interned at the shop
Right.
that have gone off now to open up their own shops, man, start their own businesses, man.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah, shout out to Rob, man. Shout out to Rob, man.
Rob, yes, sir.
He came over to the shop, man. Him and his brother, Saeed. They came
that's right.
over, man. And first thing I asked Rob, I asked a lot of my barbers when they first come in, man, what is your long-term goal, man? Do you plan on having your own shop, or what is it that you plan on doing and allowing me to help you get there?
Right.
And some people ask, like, man, don't that hurt you? I'm like, no, it don't hurt me, man, because the thing is this. I believe in creating a circle.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I create a circle, man, so the circle's never ending, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I put somebody on in the future, if I need them, they're there for me.
Exactly.
And then not only that, they'll put somebody else on.
Yes, sir.
And they'll put somebody else on. They'll
Yes,
put
sir.
somebody else on. And it'll continue to go.
Yes, sir.
And then later down the line, I might even benefit from somebody that I put on 15 spaces down the line.
Yes, sir.
They put somebody else on and they looked out for me.
Yes, sir.
So it's just creating that circle, man, and giving back. So entrepreneurs, we have to get out of our mind the concept of competition. There is no competition outside of yourself.
Exactly.
There's no competition outside of yourself.
Exactly.
So
I agree with that. I don't mean to cut you off, but hey, I agree with that because even in as a podcaster, I feel the same way because I reach out to different people. Shout out to Brayden, STL. You know, I just met another person from Houston. Her name is Rio. Excuse me if I butcher it. Rio Gonzalez. You doing your thing, and hey, I got your back. So I mean, I feel the same way. I reach out to different podcasters,
right,
and I ask them like, hey, let's do a collabo.
Right.
It ain't nothing but love for me. I tell them in a heartbeat, hey, I'll support you on your stuff, but you support me on my stuff.
Right.
It's the same thing that the 1%ers are doing to us anyway.
Yeah.
They're doing the exact same thing. It's just a different platform.
But see, this is what I tell people. I said, listen, man, if competition was real, outside of yourself, what you do, if competition was real. Now, a lot of people, I consider myself as a very confident.
Yeah.
But it comes off as cocky, arrogant. It might come off as a lot
That just
of stuff,
depends
right?
on the person that is viewing it.
Right. It's based off how you feel about yourself.
Right.
It's how you see me.
Right.
Right. So if you are a confident person, you'll see me as a confident person.
Yes.
If you look down on yourself and you have some type of insecurities or whatever, then you look at me as a cocky person.
Okay.
However you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So I just accepted it at this point, right?
Right.
But if they really knew me and the amount of people that I looked out for and the amount of people that I put on, then they will probably know that I'm just a confident person.
That's right.
So check it out. So like I said, man, I put a lot of people on, man, but I've been put on by a lot of people. Right, and I've learned from them the art of giving, the art of giving opportunity.
Yeah,
you know, and putting people in the right position. Yeah. So, like I said, man, the barbershop has allowed me, like Neil. You know, I had a guy named Neil, man, come down from Chicago, young man. He was actually cutting hair on campus.
Okay.
And my guy, shout out to my boy Evo, man. Scotty Evo. Hey, Evo fed the family for a long time, man. Evo kept me up on who had the clippers at the shop, who was doing the best cuts, man. Right. And he always turned me on to him, so I appreciate that. Evo, man. Evo introduced me to Neil and Enos. Both of them kind of have similar stories, man. From Chicago, came down, was cutting on campus, man, and I did internships with them at the barbershop. And right now today, man, both of them have gone to school, did their thing, man, and made their way back to Chicago. And they saw fit to continue to stay in the realm of being a barber. Gotcha. Because a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that they don't break down the numbers of being a barber. Some people, it's all about perspective, right? Yeah. So some people would rather look like they're making money, and other people want to just go make money, right? That's it. So it really doesn't matter the job description if you're able to bring in the income, right? So a lot of people will say, man, you got a degree, man. Like what are you doing being a barber, you know? But the thing is, what they don't do is I teach every individual that I came across what was taught to me. Yeah. The business of being a barber, right? How to break down, how to build off becoming a barber, whatnot, where it is a career. Yes, it is. You know, some people treat it like a hustle, but it's not a hustle, man. Like I said, with the logistic company, with the building management company, with any business that I have gone into ever, the most secure business that I've had is being a barber. Right. Because I said, man, as long as I keep building relationships, man, and you know, having a steady hand, I guess. I'm pretty good to go. And yeah, man. So like I said, man, the barbershop has been very beneficial to me, my family, and there's a lot of brothers out there who call me on the day-to-day time, like me and you, we built a friendship. Yes, sir. At the barbershop, you know. Yes, sir. 5 years worth. Yes, sir. 5 years. Yeah, 5 years quick. Yeah, that was quick. Quick 5 years. Yes, sir. Man. Yes, sir. Quick 5 years. And now I'm here on your show, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, bro. I mean, bro, I'm telling you, I've learned in that 5 years. I've learned so much. Just walking in your barbershop, on your wall is a picture of you and Junior. Shout out to JJ Junior. Little Justin, yes, man. Sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, throw up the WV,
yes, sir. For y'all that don't know, his son is running back for the University of West Virginia.
Yes, sir.
And we look forward to many great games out of him soon. I hope they can make the bowl game. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I hope they can make a bowl game this year, just so he can get that experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But see, what we learned today, man, is my daughter, right? Up until this year, she went to her meets, her gymnastic meets. And today she had a gymnastic meet. We had to drive her up near Chicago for a gymnastic meet. Wake up early in the morning, at 5 a.m. in the morning, man. You know, got dressed, jumped on the road, headed up there. We got to the meet, man, and normally, I mean, she would just blow it out the water, man, but she moved up to gold this year. Wow. She's at gold, man. You know, it's a different level. Right. You know.
So competition is better, stronger.
Competition is still. You know, and with the pandemic, we really hadn't been allowed to kind of go in and kind of see what her performance was looking like and things like that, and see what all the new tricks that she was learning, all the new skills, all the new techniques. Right. So it was kind of like a shock to me today to see her performing. Right. And when I went and I started seeing the girls swing from one bar to the other bar, I was like, whoa. And I started seeing on the beam, hitting the flips off. I said, oh, you know. And it was very challenging today, man. And she went out there and she did her thing, man. But just to be honest, it was probably the worst she's placed ever, like in life. Okay. And she took it kind of hard, man. Yeah. But what I had to do is I got her in the car and I told her, I said, you know, it's not about the loss. It's how you come back from a loss.
How do you come back? How do you bounce back from adversity?
So you know, it's time to go in the gym, man. It's time to put that powder on, baby. It's time to put that powder on, and let's get dirty.
Just like your nephew Jordan, right? I admire, bro. Like I said, y'all, man, sit down with this guy long enough, you will learn a lot. And I'm just, like I said, it's not being biased or nothing. I like surrounding myself with people that are positive, who has their head on them shoulders, and they have an idea of where they want to go. That's me, man.
That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Like you talking about Jordan Johnson, man.
Man,
that's a whole different ball game.
Shout out to Jordan, man.
Hey, shout out to Jordan.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Check this out. Now you talking about a tough sport.
Yes, sir.
Jordan started off, man, playing football when he first come over here,
right,
to Edwardsville.
Right.
He started off playing football, man, and I felt like he was kind of like wanting to kind of be too far up under the shadow of Justin.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
So, which was cool. You know, everybody got their big cousins, everybody got their favorite big brothers or whatever. I call them brothers now, man. So
that's what they are, really.
They brothers now.
Yes, sir.
Right? So at this point, they brothers. So check this out. Everybody want to be up under their big brother. Everybody look up to their big brother. Everybody's kind of like, you know, hold on to the legacy of their big brother.
Yes, sir.
So Jordan came, man, and I felt like, you know, he was looking so far up to Justin that he was losing himself. So I remember this game like it was yesterday, man. It was crazy. I had volunteered to hold the sticks. You know, they were playing at home, and it was against Belleville East. It was against Belleville East, and it was a JV game. Jordan was in the game, man, and it was tied up. It was a close game. It was crazy as hell, right? Because I'm into the game, I'm holding sticks.
Right.
I can't even remember. They like, hey, box guy.
Hey, you gotta move up. You gotta move up.
Right? So I'm in the game, man. I'm locked in. So it all comes down to, it literally came down to Jordan had an opportunity to make the game-winning tackle. The game-winning tackle on the goal line. Man, I remember like it was yesterday, man. I'm sitting there, I dropped the box, you know, they went inside the 10. So it's like,
you don't really need it.
4th and goal, man, right? It's 4th and goal. They got a running quarterback, which was the best player on the team. So we already knew how this was going to go, right? You know, you got Michael Vick over there, right? We already knew it's going to be play action. And,
bootleg, some kind of bootleg.
So check it out, man. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do. I seen Jordan. Jordan had him, man. Tunnel vision. I'm like, Jordan about to hit him.
Break down.
Jordan ran up there, man. He got so disciplined. He stayed in his zone, and the guy like crept around him, got to the edge, man, and dove in, touched the pylon, touchdown. I said, holy shit. I couldn't believe what was happening.
Right.
After the game, man, I had to have a talk with Jordan. I said, Jordan, man, just be honest with me, man. I said, be honest with me. I said, is this what you want to do? He kind of looked at me.
And
I said, Jordan, it's cool. If this ain't what you want to do, what you got to do, man, is you got to go find something that's for you.
It's for you.
You know what I'm saying? I said, listen, you got to let Justin do him, and you go do Jordan.
You go do Jordan.
Man, Jordan took off, man, and he went and joined the track team.
Yeah.
So he went to join the track team, man. I come out there and took off work. And it was funny as hell, right? So we took off work, man. I'm sitting in the stands. And I just know, I'm like, man, Jess running the family. Like, you know, it's time to go, you know. I'm thinking about the lights back in the day, like they running from light to light with no shoes on the north side, right? So I said, man, he can smoke him. Man, he got out there, man, the gun went off, pow! Jordan came out the block, and all of a sudden, man, it looked like this man started moonwalking. Everybody was like, just blowing him out the water. I said, oh no. So Jordan, I came down, had to have that talk with him.
Talk again.
I said, hey, Jordan, man, listen, man, the 100 might not be for you, man.
You
know, they put you in the wrong event.
Right.
So Jordan, hey, he took it on the chin, man. He went over and grabbed a pole vault, which was crazy, right? And became one of the best pole vaulters at the time at Edwardsville High School.
Ain't that something?
And I said, pole vault? I said, man, what the hell? But he was willing to figure it out. He didn't give up.
Correct.
Right? And by me accepting, like, the difference, like, hey, man, listen, go find you.
Go find you.
And one of his coaches ended up being a wrestling coach and said, Jordan, come out to wrestling.
Yeah.
And the rest was history, man.
Right.
His freshman year, Jordan went 23-3. They said, man, the only freshman that had ever been something like that was a young man. I forgot his name, man, but it was a young man, just the same story as Jordan. Never played wrestling, never wrestled until his freshman year. He gone off to play D1 college at the University of Illinois.
Ain't that something?
And outside of that, man, you talking about one of the hardest workers in the classroom, man. Jordan put it down in the classroom, man. You know what I'm saying? He really put it down in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? So he's a great student athlete. So is Justin Johnson Jr.
Yes, sir.
And also Jada, man.
And you bringing Jada along very well too.
I'm gonna be honest.
Don't sleep on Jada.
Hey, it's tough as hell coming up as a Johnson, bro.
Man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The boy up there.
Hey,
I know they get tired of me, man.
Dog,
I know they get tired of me.
I don't.
I know they get tired of me.
I don't. Because I use it as a